Hello everyone, welcome if you're a new subscriber, welcome back if you're a returning subscriber. My app is back. So this is the app that I've been working on for a minute. So yeah, it's still on my local. I haven't published it anywhere yet, but I just want to give you a taste of what to expect. So I've basically just asked it, what trends are we seeing in Gauteng's 3 metros in the way of property? Today is Property Friday, so that's what you're seeing, and I'm really excited to play around with it. Okay, it responded. The one thing I am struggling with is like having it leave paragraphs. So if you know what I can do, like just drop it in the chat and I'll try it. I've also obviously asked it to leave new lines and it doesn't do that. Sorry. So based on the provided Stats SA Residential Property Price Index for Jan 2024, here are the key property trends about Gauteng's 3 metro municipalities. Intro. The Gauteng metros show varied performance with overall moderate growth in property prices. The Western Cape, particularly Cape Town, is on the main national driver of price inflation, while Gauteng metros are experiencing more subdued growth. In the national context, this annual national residential property price inflation was 1.9. The Western Cape was the main contributor, 5.5, and Gauteng showed a slight decline of minus 0.4. City of Jozi year on year was minus that. And then the index shows a slight contraction in property values. This indicates a buyer's market with potential for value purchases. Ekurhuleni trends year on year, 1.5% month on month. 0.3 month on month, and then showing positive but modest growth compared to other Gauteng metros, and it demonstrates relative stability in the market. And then the third one, which is Tshwane trends year on year change, 0.5% month on month, and 0% or flat from Jan to December 2023. Shows minimal growth with stable month-on-month performance, indicates a balanced market between buyers and sellers. Comparative analysis, so all three Gauteng metros are underperforming compared to the national average of 1.9% growth. Cape Town is significantly outperforming with 3.9 year-on-year growth. Gauteng's property market is experiencing price stagnation with minimal growth. This suggests potential buying opportunities for long-term investors. And then in terms of the investment applications, so Gauteng properties may offer better value relative to Western Cape markets, and rental demand remains strong due to continued urbanization and economic activity. Investors should focus on cash flow rather than short-term capital appreciation, and sectional title properties showed 1% growth nationally, potentially offering better investment returns at Gauteng. In conclusion, the Gauteng metro property markets are currently experiencing modest growth, with some areas showing slight declines, and this presents potential opportunities for investors seeking value purchases with strong rental demand fundamentals, and the market favors long-term investment strategies over short-term capital growth expectations. I also want to ask it about Kathu. If you don't know, Kathu is in the Northern Cape. We spoke about it a bit, I think last time when I was in my live, and was basically showing you the dip from the Codera Analytics site. So let's see what it says about this. Let's give it a second. Andiswa is thinking. This is 0% Heineken. I'm so obsessed. I was watching F1 with someone like 2 weeks ago, and this boy, which I love him, what's his name? Damson Idris. Damson Idris was the Formula One. Also, Heineken 0% was the sponsor of the F1 movie, and Damson Idris is like is the face of the 0% Heineken, and I loved it. Okay, so on Kathu, it says, based on the provided documents from Stats SA, here's the analysis of Kathu. So intro, the provided documents are the National Residential Property Price Index reports and don't contain specific data for Kathu. The report focuses on provincial and metro areas. Kathu is a mining town in the Northern Cape province, and its property market is heavily influenced by the mining sector, which is not detailed on this national data. Provincial context. So Northern Cape is a province that showed a negative year-on-year property price change. According to the October 2024 report, the Northern Cape index was that, which is a decrease of 7.4%. compared to October 2023. This was the worst performance of all the provinces, indicating a significant market contraction. Likely reasons for decrease in Kathu is that the property market in mining towns like Kathu is extremely cyclical and is tied to the fortunes of the local primary employer, typically an iron ore mine. A decrease in property values is often caused by a downturn in the mining sector, such as lower commodity prices, operational challenges, or job losses. This reduces demand for housing as people relocate for work, leading to an oversupply of properties and falling prices. Wow. Likely reasons for increase in Kathu. Conversely, property values in Kathu would increase during a boom in the mining sector. Strong commodity prices, mine expansion, and an influx of workers create high demand for housing. This demand often outstrips supply, leading to rising property prices and rental rates. And then, in terms of investment considerations for mining towns, investing in a mining town like Kathu carries a high risk, high reward profile. The market is volatile and entirely dependent on a single industry. Investors can achieve excellent rental yields and capital growth during boom periods, but face significant losses during busts. Thorough research into the current and projected status of the local mine is absolutely essential before investing. Conclusion: while the national data shows the Northern Cape property market contracted significantly, specifically data for Kathu is not available. The Kathu market is intrinsically linked to the performance of its mining industry. Prices will likely decrease due to a mining sector downturn and increase during periods of mining prosperity. This market is highly volatile and requires deep local knowledge and risk tolerance from an investor. Okay, so I'm just going to say thanks. And then I want to ask it about a property I found at Gqeberha. Right? Alright, so here I'm asking, can you please do a high level rent versus bond costs and maintenance costs and managing agent costs for this investment property? Also give me a background into the area in the way of investment trends, please. Maybe I can show that. So I did have it open here. So this was the property, right? That we have. Let me just make this a bit bigger. So this is the property at Gqeberha while we're waiting for Andiswa to respond. It's a bit old style, but very spacious, very big. I really liked it. You know what it's giving? It's giving those apartments in Yeoville and Berea, which I quite like. I like a nice spacious area, a nice big kitchen. There's a kitchen island. Plenty of space. You can get a double door fridge, which, believe it or not, is one of my dreams. Oh, is that a single door fridge? Oh, okay. But my dream is a double door fridge with an ice maker, a crusher, a full bath. It's a bit old, but yeah, a nice room. I've always wanted a room where you can fit a couch, and beautiful wooden floors, and it's got that shape where you can make like a reading nook just under the table. Oh, I love it. It's got an ensuite. Yeah, that's basically the apartment that we're dealing with. Oh. Okay. Alright, so it has indeed responded. Alright, so when I said thanks, it just did its own thing about Linwood Gardens, which is in Claremont in Cape Town, so we'll leave that. And then in terms of the response for Gqeberha, it says, based on the provided TPN Bureau for Summerstrand PE, here's a high-level cost analysis and investment overview. Intro, so this analysis is for an investment property in Summerstrand, a coastal suburb in Port Elizabeth. The data indicates a strong rental market with favorable conditions for investors. Rental income for a 2-bed sectional title in Summerstrand, 2025 average rental is 11,000. The market range for this property is typically between 8.3 and 15. Bond cost estimate assume a purchase price and 100% bond at 10.5. The estimated monthly bond payment will be approximately 9.5. Your actual bond cost will depend on the final purchase price, your deposit amount, and the interest rate offered by your bank. Maintenance is typically estimated at 1%. For 1 million rand property, that's about 10k per year, 833 per month. This one should reserve for ongoing repairs, painting, and general upkeep. Managing agent fees. Standard managing agent fees in SA are usually between 8 and 12 for the monthly rental plus VAT, and then for an average rent of 11, this equals a monthly cost between approximately 892 and 1.4. And then in terms of net cash flow projection, using the average figures, so gross rental income of that, less bond payments of that, less maintenance, less managing agent fees. You've got a negative cash flow of minus 293. This projection indicates a potential slight negative cash flow based on these averages. Your actual outcome is highly sensitive to the final purchase price, the exact rental yield achieved, and the interest rate on your bond. So in terms of the area investment trends, Summerstrand shows excellent investment fundamentals for the tenant, good standing ratio of 91.51%. This is significantly higher than the national average of 83, indicating a much lower risk of rental payment default. This area has a high concentration of investment properties, with a substantial portion of the housing stock being rented out rather than owner-occupied. This demonstrates strong and consistent rental demand in the area. The demographic data reveals a stable, predominantly white population with diverse age groups, supporting a reliable tenant base. That's racist. The variety of property types include freehold, cluster, and sectional title units, offers different investment options. Conclusion, Summerstrand presents a compelling low-risk investment opportunity due to its exceptional tenant payment performance and strong rental demand. While the initial analysis suggests near cash flow neutral potential, the high good standing ratio significantly reduces investment risk. The area's coastal location and stable demographics support consistent rental demand, make it a favorable market for property investors. Alright, so the nice thing is that it looked at the link, it picked up that it's in Gqeberha, and then it was able to chat about it, and the information on Summerstrand is indeed correct. And that's the report we've been through before. It's recent, also 2025, and I think the response is very comprehensive. I am so excited about this. The one thing that it struggles with is latest, so it didn't bring the latest report at all times. Sometimes it will bring a 2024 report when there is a 2025, and then if you just say hi, then it just responds with something else. It responds with a generic prompt, which is tell me about the investment property in South Africa, as an investor. So I need to fix that. But I'm really excited. Let me know what you think. Do I have a last question? I think I had a last question here. Oh, let me ask about this property. Let me say thanks for that. That was very comprehensive. What if I were to relate it short-term? How the short-term is okay. We're still speaking about the Gqeberha property, so let's just check if Andiswa can link that. I'm really excited. It's always nice to build something and then it eventually works, and then you can share it with people, and it still works when you're sharing it. You guys have to be in the comments telling me what you think about this. I've got another project I'm working on, but I want to iron this out and I want to publish it, and then we can play around with it on there. The people who have bought the property model will have free access to this when I launch, and they will be my main testers. So there's 4 people who bought the property model from me, so those will get first dibs for free. And then I've also got a property working group. They will not have free access, but they will have a discounted access to this, because I do need feedback from people to get a better understanding of what do I need to fix, what do I not need to fix. One thing I know I need is charts. I know someone is going to want to see, hey, can you plot this out? If I hold the property for 5 years, what does that look like? Yeah. So here it's based on the provided TPN for Kempton Park. Okay, that's already wrong because it shouldn't be speaking of Kempton Park. So what I'm missing is the setting that basically tells it to keep the history. So I need to fix that. Okay, so I'm gonna end the video here. Thank you so much for watching. Please comment down below. I've tried to keep this video nice and short. I know people have a short attention span and it's a Friday, but tell me what you think. Tell me what you think about the tool. Tell me what kind of questions you'd want to ask, and tell me if you'd be interested in paying for something like this. And yeah, thanks for engaging. Bye.